This tutorial is about, where is it? It's in track. It's about track visualization. This is what the game uses to tell whether or not you're going in the right direction. So whenever you see wrong way blinking off, that is because the game is detecting that you're going in the wrong direction. But how do you make sure that the game knows that the right direction is the right direction? Well, let's first actually put a road down, because it is not going to do anything if there is no road. So let me just go into the library and wait for that to load. There it is. Let's go into the roads. Let's place down some Empire. I don't like that one. I like that one. We're gonna place some of these down. We're just gonna put it in a straight line. Look at that. That's a beautiful road. We're gonna take this little thing. We're just gonna make a turn. Amazing. Put some more straights. Okay. So let me go into the properties. Wow, that looks weird. So you might notice that this has, let me pull that out so you can read it entirely, but this says include in track calculation. The track calculation is what is in this track visualization. That's going to show you how the track knows where it's going. If you decide to not click on that, the line that is the road will now turn into is that magenta? I'm going to call that magenta. It's probably purple. It could be wrong. Either way, it's going to turn to that color if it's not being included in the track calculations. Do this with any road or spline that you do not want to be a part of what is the actual road. If you don't do that, the game is going to try to consider everything else that is a part of the track calculations. You don't want it to mess up. So, all of this has the blue line. So let's see what this really neat option does, the track visualization. So you might notice that the road has now turned red. Let me just zoom in a little bit. You can see that it turned red. It has an arrow. This is where it assumes the direction is right now. But you might notice that it's red. Red doesn't usually mean good, does it? Well, it doesn't. I'm going to see if it actually shows anything right now. It might not. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So it didn't show wrong way just yet, mostly because there isn't a road. It doesn't count anything as a road. It doesn't think there's a real road. That's why the color was red. So in order for it to actually believe that a road exists and that there is in fact a track, we first must place a start zone and an end zone. So let's do that. That's a start zone. Let's put an end zone. That's an end zone. Boom! We got a start zone and an end zone. I'm gonna just real quick move the car spawner to the start zone. And now let's give the track visualization another look. Let's see what it looks like right now. So now it's blue. And the track visualization is now like, okay, I know that I need to go this way and keep going this way until I reach the end zone. So now it's able to tell that I want to go from here to here. This is a very simple track at the moment, so of course it's going to be able to detect it very easily, but now I can go forward a little bit, but if I decide to just turn around real fast, now it says wrong way. Now it knows which way the road is. But why does track visualization mess up? Well, it messes up for a lot of reasons. As I've already mentioned, you could place let me actually just take this. You can place another road and move. Whoa, I didn't want to do that. You can place another road and just have it be a part of the track calculations. And if I try to visualize it, it gets a little confused. Now it's considering this as also part of the road. But right now it's not actually confused. It just believes that this is a alternate path, and this is the dark blue is the real path, while this is an alternate path. At least that's what it's detecting right now. But if this were to get a bit more zany, like I had a bunch of these roads just going to and fro, or maybe the end zone instead of over here was like way over here or something, and I separated these, oh, this looks terrible, but if I separated like a lot of these roads and moved them in different directions, unfortunately, the test track visualization would not really detect things very well. It would probably assume, if I were to just remove this and kind of just move it over here, it'd probably assume that I need to go from here to here, right? It's going to assume that I go over here. So if I go over here, it's going to start saying wrong way, even if I considered this part of the road to be part of the track itself, which I'm only guessing. I need to look at the visualization to see if it's even doing that, and it's actually not doing that. Good job. Usually the track visualization gets a little bit strange when you have like a really long road. When your road gets complicated, I'm gonna undo a bit because that road looked awful. But hopefully that kind of got the point across on what it's gonna do. Alright, let me delete that extra road. Now you'll be able to know whether or not the track visualization is going in the wrong direction because it has these green arrows. It's pointing which way it believes the road is supposed to go. So if you ever see those arrows pointing in the wrong direction, that means your track visualization is incorrect. And there are several ways to fix that. Just for example, say you have a not road as your current road, like you have something that isn't actually a road. So let's grab a cube, because cubes do not have a way to be a part of the track calculation. So we're going to use a cube as the road for a brief amount of time. I just want to show that even if you have a cube, it will not really be able to detect that the cube is in fact the road. I'm just going to put the end zone over here. I'm not even going to line up the cube. This is just for an example. Just for an example. I'm going to line it up a little bit. Alright, so you're supposed to travel along these cubes to get over here. The track visualization is not going to detect any of that. It's not going to detect any of this. In fact, it actually decided to ignore this road entirely, and it will consider that road the wrong way. It now believes that you must go from here to here, and that's the path you need to take, even though there's no road there. So how do you fix this? How do I make sure that the path is correct? Because I'm gonna follow this road, and at some point it's just gonna start saying wrong way. Yep, there it is. How do I fix it? Well, you can use something called an invisible spline. This is what I use. So invisible splines are just kind of, they're used for a lot of things. This isn't the only thing it's used for. This is just an example of a way you can use it. So invisible splines also have track calculations. So you could just attach, oh, that's the wrong way I wanted to do that. Do that the other way. You can attach an invisible spline to the road, put it over here. Actually, I'm going to make sure I attach it. There you go. So that is now a part of the track calculation. It looks a little weird. I can line that up a little bit better. Make another track node in there and just kind of boom, there we go. So now the track calculation should be fixed. All of it should be blue and it should follow this line. Yep. So that's a good way to fix your track calculations. So make sure to check the visualization before releasing a level in case you're having this wrong way problem. This is how you fix the wrong way problem. And also a quick note, teleporters are not really a part of the track calculations, or was it warp anchors? I don't know if it was both of them or not, but none of them have an include in track calculations option. So if you use warp anchors, it will not include it in the track calculations, which is why you could warp somewhere and suddenly you're going the wrong way, even though technically you're not. Let me just double check that teleporters do not have this problem. If they have include in track calculations in there, then they do, but they do not. So yeah, teleporters, and they do? Okay, hold on. Someone in the chat just said that they do. I need to make sure. I'm gonna give that a quick little check. I haven't used teleporters in a while, but this is a good thing to check because I want to make sure what I'm saying is correct. Let me just put a teleporter here, make it teleport to 1. Oh wait, I'm stupid, it's right there! It's right there, okay. Teleporters are included in the track calculations. Might be, I didn't read the options. Make sure you read the options, it's important. But warp anchors specifically are not a part of track calculations. If you use warp anchors, which you probably do if you don't want to use a teleporter, it is important to make sure that maybe you can add some invisible spline that goes from the warp anchor to the other warp anchor that it teleports to, just to make sure the track calculation knows that there's actually that is the right way. Also, another thing to note, if you do not have a start zone and end zone placed, like you noticed before how the track calculations were red before I actually even placed those down, it considers that there is no actual road, which means that there are several objects that don't actually work, like shard emitters. I hope I'm spelling that right as I'm typing this in the search bar. I did not. Let me just do shard instead, I can still find it. Alright, so this shard emitter, this needs the track calculation to be blue in order to actually fire. Also, the shards will land ahead of the player, and if the game believes that the player is going in the wrong direction, the shards will always land behind the player. So it's important to have the visualization correct if you're using these. This is also true for droppers. Dang it! Where are you? There you are. It's also true for both of these drone droppers, these lads over here that kind of stack on top of each other. If you use either of these, it needs the track calculation to work. And again, if the track calculation is incorrect, it's gonna act a little weird. So it's just something to think about when you're making your track. And this is also a good way to fix your wrong ray problem. Have a good time using an editor. That's the tutorial. Have a good day.